Well, we have a very developing market. There's in Ontario, the province that we're from, there's a cap and trade system that's brand new. It's in line with the Western Climate Initiative, so we're following in the footsteps of California in the United States and Quebec in Canada. They've just announced that a few weeks ago. There's the equivalent of this conference in North America, which is the Navigating the American Carbon World conference. It just happened. It was very progressive, and we're seeing a lot of big impacts, and the carbon pricing is really attractive in North America right now. So actually, in terms of what we'll see in terms of representation, we might be one of the only Canadian companies here, but there is very much interest in carbon. Like I said, the carbon pricing is amazing, and we're looking forward to developing that market going forward.
I was being a bit unfair because at provincial level, as you indicated, there has been quite a bit of progress. What do you think is driving that? Are companies, are provincial, state level governments seeing some kind of financial opportunity here? What's kind of behind it?
Yeah, the biggest thing that we've seen, it's sort of counterintuitive to what the UN has done in the past, where it's been a voluntary market, right? We're having a regulated type market where there's a cap, the cap and trade system, right? Governments, private industry, they're seeing opportunity to develop, good landfill gas projects, forestry projects, ozone depleting substance projects. The pricing's great. We're getting $12 US dollars per ton of CO2, which is excellent, and a lot of people are really seeing that development opportunity, and we're seeing a great market for that in terms of what our opportunity is as a DOE or a validator verification body.
Now, you said you're in charge of sort of validating and looking through how projects are faring. The clean development mechanism, which was once the flagship UN carbon market, seems to have been blighted at stages by some remarkable projects getting validated, with very, very minimal, limited greenhouse gas sort of reduction qualities. What do you think needs to be done to evidently tighten up what look like quite loose rules at the moment?
Right. So I think what you're sort of asking is in terms of there's that gold standard, the Gold Standard Foundation, there's social carbon, there's a few other different programs that are highlighted here. And they've been developing in North America now. The gold standard is talking about linking in with the American National Standards Institute, ANSI, for accreditation in verification. So there is a really big global market for that additional step. That gold standard is what they really look for, right? And that's important. It's a big step. A lot of countries, there's some issues in maybe in China and India where they want to see more public interaction, and they want to know that you've gone that extra step to make sure that there's good quality greenhouse gas projects. It's not just a simple big corporation coming in and installing a wind farm, or they want to know that there's people building schools, that there's people doing that kind of work. So it's great. It's come a long way. It's only getting better. It's becoming more global. It's coming into North America. It's going into all the developing nations really in the world.
And is there a global standard, or are we seeing a patchwork around the world? Some a bit dodgy, some maybe tighter. What's the kind of global picture? Yeah,
it is getting better. It is patchy still, I would say that at best. So parts of the world that have not been great at developing are getting better with that. You see a lot of the countries here, a lot of the African countries are here. It's great. They're developing the cook stove programs and energy efficiency projects that are affecting not just the big cities, it's affecting the smallest people and it's in the smallest parts of the world. So yeah, it's getting better. It does need a lot of improvement, but it's something that we strive to always improve. So hopefully that's the path that we're taking and everyone else is taking as well.
Just one last question. In terms of human rights, there have been plenty of stories of perhaps big forest plantations being planted in areas where perhaps there have already been indigenous peoples living. There's an ongoing ruckus about biofuels in Africa. I mean, to what extent are human rights a major part of how projects are evaluated around the world?
Yeah, I mean, I'll sort of take two approaches to that. There's the project development standpoint where there is the greater need, the greater good, and all that sort of stuff. And we understand that as an engineering company, but we also understand that there is the private side, the public side of things. And yeah, it's very important. You can't just simply come in and develop your project. You need to make sure that you're taking everyone's rights into consideration. So it is taking a very much center-fold view in terms of how they are developing now these projects, a lot better than they did 10 years ago, 5 years ago, even like last year to now. You see a lot better human rights considerations being, in the center look, right? So yeah, it's a great thing. They're coming along. It's in the right direction, which is good.